guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Nelly V. Hope y'all are doing well. We are back at it again with another video. All right, so today's video is, well, I haven't really decided what I'm calling it, but basically it is tips for people who might struggle during the holidays. So, you know, I know it's a holiday season and everybody's kind of expecting you to be like, woo, 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 cheery, cheery. But the reality is this is not a joyful season for some people. Maybe you're grieving. Maybe this is your first holiday season without a loved one. Maybe you or somebody you love is struggling with a physical or mental illness. Maybe you are working during the holidays, so you can't be with your family. Maybe you're homesick. Or maybe you're experiencing feelings of loneliness, or, you know, if this is typically not a holly jolly time for you, this video is for you. Yeah, and I wanted to make this video because I feel like I see things on social media all the time, like on holidays, where it's like sending love to people who, you know, like if it's Mother's Day, like people who are grieving the loss of their mom, or, you know, the holiday season, I just see like, oh, people who like have a loved one in the hospital, things like that. So yeah, I think about those things because I'm like, you know, it's not always the most wonderful time of year for, you know, certain people who are going through certain things. Even myself, sometimes in seasons past, I've been a Grinch. Like, I'm kind of like, I feel like the holidays are a lot of work. It's a lot of, you know, you have to be on all the time. You're around a lot of people. People are questioning you. It can be a lot. Like, it's a good time, but it's also like, it can also bring up a lot of different emotions. Yeah. So, you know, if you don't have happy memories during this time, or you're estranged from your family, or whatever you're going through, I just want to say I'm with you. I'm here for you. I encourage everybody to spread kindness and grace during this time. You don't know what anybody's going through before you, on the road, anybody. So just try to spread extra kindness, extra love, extra compassion during this time, because a lot of people are just trying to take it one day at a time. I feel like with these tips, they're gonna help you kind of plan ahead. We already know this might be like a tense time or a difficult time, but if you are able to, you know, implement some of these tips, some of these strategies, you can kind of let the season pass a little bit more smoothly than before. Yeah, if you are going through a hard time, I just want to say I'm with you. I'm sending love and prayers, positive energy your way. I feel you. I empathize with you. And just know that tough times do not last forever. It is a hard season, but you will experience joy again. You know, a lot of times when things happen, we're just like, what is going on? We're just filled with so many different emotions, and it's not necessarily, you know, your fault or whatever the case with what happened, but it is your responsibility to be happy. It is your responsibility to choose joy. So even though it's a difficult time, I hope that you find some time during this holiday season to be joyful, to express gratitude, to be with somebody you love, or to spend time with yourself, reconnecting with yourself. So this video, it was on my heart. I know people are gonna be like, you know, what makes you qualified to do that? I am a certified mental health professional. I am a school counselor by profession. But either way, I am human. I'm somebody who has also gone through, you know, tough times. And I know that it's amplified during the holidays because everybody is with their families, and that maybe you have a, you know, tumultuous relationship with your family. Whatever the case may be, I hope you find something helpful in this video. Okay. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, and subscribe. Please check out some of my other content. This is part of my 12 Days of Nelly V, Vlogmas, Christmas, holiday extravaganza, where I am doing a video every day. But check out my other content, check out my playlist, and get to know me, and welcome to the family. So number one is acknowledging your feelings. So whether it's anger, it's sadness, resentment, jealousy, whatever the case may be, acknowledge and validate your feelings. Your experience is your experience. Nobody else knows what you've went through. Nobody else is walking through your shoes. Even if you're in a family and something happens in the family, like it affects the mom differently than how it affects the brother, than how it affects the uncle. So just take the time to sit with your emotions and sit with your feelings. You might even be feeling happy during this time, and you might feel guilty about feeling happy because maybe, you know, you're still in that grieving process, or, you know, you're feeling guilty for moving on or anything like that. And just remember that each emotion is valid. You're in a complicated time, you're in a complicated process, and there's going to be hills and valleys and ups and downs. So just make sure you recognize each emotion that you're going through. It's a hard practice that's even hard for me because I'm kind of like, well, if I just say I'm mad, like, what's that gonna do? Like, I'm still gonna be mad. But it's really important to release those emotions and to be self-aware of the emotions that you bring, because sometimes you might be like walking around with the feeling, you know, of heaviness, and you don't take the time to like identify the root of that feeling, and then it bubbles over into other things. You're popping off on people, or you're exploding on, like, you know, the grocery clerk who doesn't have anything to do with what happened. So take that time to be self-aware of your emotions and to just really sit with your emotions, whether that's journaling, or maybe you might take your phone to send a voice recording to yourself, or record yourself on camera. Find a way to release it, journal it, and put it to paper. You know, it's really important to be self-aware of your emotions and validate yourself, just in case anybody in your family or anybody in your life is trying to invalidate you. You can be like, no, I know how I feel. I know what I went through. I am in control of my emotions. The second thing is make a plan for how you're gonna spend that day. So while you're acknowledging your feelings and thinking about everything, think about what you need during that day. We already know that the holiday is gonna bring a range of emotions, so you kind of wanna already anticipate the unexpected. You can't plan for everything, but you can kind of say, okay, who do I want to be with me that day? You know, what activity am I going to do this day? Where am I getting my plate of food? Where am I getting my leftovers? What am I going to be doing that day? So you can kind of know what's going on. I think this kind of helps you kind of make realistic expectations. Like maybe you're like the house hopping type of person, like, okay, I'm gonna spend 2 hours here. I know this might be an intense environment. I'm gonna just stay here, get my food, leave, whatever the case may be. Kind of make a plan for how the day is gonna go for you. Also, in like setting realistic expectations for yourself, like if there is a responsibility that you had in years past, like, you know, you're responsible for, you know, putting up the tree or cooking the mac and cheese or whatever, and you're not up for that this year, communicate with your loved ones, you know, so that you can kind of already, like I said, know what you're walking into, like divide the responsibilities out. Like, it's not gonna be me this year. I don't have the capacity. Communicate with your loved ones so that it's kind of like, okay, we already know who's gonna do this, who's gonna do that, who's gonna be where, etc., etc. So the third one I have is starting a new tradition. If this is your first holiday without a loved one, maybe you are going to try to start a new tradition to honor that person in your life. I've seen people create like memory spaces. I've also seen people who get like paintings done of their loved ones, you know, so that they can hang it up like in the family table or in the living room. If you're gonna be alone during the holidays, try to find a new activity or a new hobby that will take your mind off of things, distract you a little bit. You know, try to find an activity that kind of reflects the current state of mind you're in. So if you want to do something chill, you know, paint or like take a walk or something that's like, you know, a chill vibe. Or if you want to travel, get away, have a new experience, a new adventure, create a new memory. Maybe there's a tradition that you have in your family that you guys want to modify to kind of just reflect where you guys are at now with your family, in grieving or in just honoring a loved one. So yeah, by starting a new tradition, you kind of have something positive to focus on to try to make the day special for you guys. Number 4 is taking care of your physical health. I feel like we underestimate how much your physical health can affect your mental health. Like if we're not well, like that can just start a spiral of different thoughts and different, you know, behaviors and stuff. So make sure during this time you're getting lots of sleep, lots of rest, vitamin D, you're getting outside, you're getting some sun. It's colder, people are getting more sick. Protect yourself, you know, wear a mask, take your vitamins. Just stay healthy, because when your physical health starts to decline, it only leaves room for everything else to start going down. So make sure you're taking care of yourself, resting, and all of that. Number 5 is volunteering, spending some time giving back to your community. I personally said this season I really want to do more volunteering, because I just feel like I feel like in college and high school, like it was mandatory and it was a requirement, and then it's like, you know, it stops being a requirement, but it's like people are still struggling. So I myself this season, I really want to spend some time volunteering. So this is a great way to give back, kind of find a way to fulfill your purpose. You can find a cause that's close and near to your heart. Maybe make it a family activity, go with your siblings, your cousins, whoever, find or a group of friends. It's always good to just spend time thinking about other people, you know. Maybe, you know, it's too much for you to think about your situation right now, but you want to distract yourself, you want to give back, you want to love on others. The holidays are a tough time for people as far as food insecurity, homelessness. So there's always, you know, places you can volunteer so that you can, you know, give back. Number 6 is communicate how you're feeling to a loved one. I know it's a tough time, but if you have a friend or a family member who is able to help you, or if you are able to come up with some tangible things that you need, whether it's just like, oh, you know, like, can you help me, you know, put up my tree? Can you, like, you know, can we share a meal together? Find ways that you need support, and if you can even just find one person that's in your corner that's willing to support you, communicate with them, tell them what you need during this time if you're struggling. And on the flip side, if you are that loved one, make sure you're holding space for them. Make sure you are allowing them to vent, allowing them to, you know, communicate what they need, and don't over, you know, promise or under deliver, you know. Like if there's something that you can do, they're already going through a lot during this time, and if they ask you for something, make sure if you say yes to them that you can actually, you know, deliver on that promise. Even if it looks untraditional than it has in years past, like if you're, you know, relying on a coworker or somebody that you didn't think that you would be in that situation with, communicate and, you know, open up your heart to them. Number 7 is say no and put up boundaries, okay? If there's an event you don't want to go to this year, don't go. Don't go. It's as simple as that. Your peace comes first, okay? And I know it might be hard, and I know it's like, oh, like I don't want this and that. Don't worry about what anybody's thinking about you. Worry about how you are gonna feel and protect yourself and your feelings above all else, okay? So if you don't want to go somewhere, you don't want to eat something, you don't want to do such and such activity, don't do it. Say no. Be respectful, you know, just be like, hey, you know what? I'm not feeling up to that this year. Thank you for the invitation, but I'm not gonna be there. And happy holidays. And that's it. I know that's easier said than done, and I know we have complicated relationships with our family, but just remember to protect you at all times. Really choose you. If you don't have to be put in a position where you're uncomfortable, let's not do that. Let's not even go there. Okay, number 8 is seeking therapeutic resources. People have mixed feelings about therapy. I feel like you should give it a try. If you are going through a mental illness, or if you are going through grief or something, you know, that you do want to talk to a professional about, I totally recommend. Therapy is expensive, I'm not even gonna lie. You know, if you don't have insurance or if you don't have, you know, the funds, it can rack up. So I'm gonna put some resources in the description box. There's the Loveland Foundation that does free therapy. I think they give you like 4 to 8 sessions. If you want resources for how to find a therapist, different websites, I'll also put that in the chat if you want to talk to somebody. And then of course, if you do have insurance, you know, going through your insurance is probably the cheapest way, but just in case, you know, I'll put some resources in the description box. The last tip I have is expressing gratitude. And this can be hard because sometimes you're so like wrapped up in your situation that you don't really see you know, any good, anything that can come from it. But I challenge you to really find something that you can be grateful for this holiday season, even if it's just breath in your lungs or your health or just safety on the road to and from. Find something to be grateful for. I feel like when you're focused on gratitude, you're coming from a more abundant like mindset, and you're not focusing on the things that you're lacking this holiday. You're focusing on what you do have, what you can be grateful for, and that way, you know, even if it's not the best of times, it's like, okay, I got this, so there's nowhere to go but up. You know what I mean? But when you're focusing on lack and you're focusing on what you don't have and what's not the same about this holiday season, and you know, the emotions and everything, you're more likely to kind of go down. You're more likely to go into that spiral. So please try to find some things to be grateful for this holiday season so that you can kind of uplift your mind and your spirit and be in a positive mindset and a positive trajectory. So that is the end of this video. If you are struggling during these holidays and you have other tips or other strategies that helped you, comment below. Somebody might read them and, you know, feel encouraged. I really want this to be a safe space for people to, you know, spread cheer, spread kindness, spread love. And if you are going through a tough season, I just want to say I'm sending you so much love, and that things will get better. Please comment below. I read all my comments, I respond to them. I just want this to be a safe space for everybody to just kind of, you know, talk amongst themselves and find community. So yeah, I know there's a lot of pressure during this season to be doing this, to be doing that, running around here, running around there. Do what you need to do for you this season, unapologetically, okay? Listen to what your body needs, listen to what your soul and your mind needs, and give yourself that. Water yourself first, spend time with yourself, create peace for yourself, and just don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Just focus on you. So thanks for watching, guys. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.